Hello, BookTube, and welcome back. So, I've read another book, and I'm going to do another book review. Well, my personal opinion, synopsis, whatever you want to call it. You know what you come to see. It's in the title of the video. Uh, so, I read the first of the Sharpe books. This is Sharpe's Tigers by Bernard Cornwell. Bernard Cornwell is a very famous UK author, and this book series is also equally as famous in the UK. There being a TV series, I'm not sure about internationally. So I think the TV started in 1994, 93, and I think it ended in the late noughties, so sort of 2007, something like that. And I think it was produced by ITV and it starred Sean Bean. So it was very well known. I didn't watch it at the time because I was much more interested in the X Files and Lost. None of this Sharpe stuff. And I picked it up because I wanted something kind of lightweight for this month because I had such a heavy book reading month last month. So something light, something quick. I can just devour this book. And if, for those of you who don't know, this is historical fiction, and it takes place during the Raj Wars in British-controlled India. So we're talking about 1795 to 1800, 1801, something like that. And it looks at the main character, who is Richard Sharpe, who's a bit of a rogue. He doesn't really want to be in the army. He's the sort of person who'd rather punch you in the face. And when he's killed you, he's going to loot your corpse. He's one of those kind of characters. A bit of Jack the Lad as well. And I mean, there's loads of great characters in this book, and I think the book series as well. And one of my favourites. A lot of looking down, a lot of like grunts. One of my one of my favourite characters is, I think he's going to appear in a lot more as well, is Sergeant Haxwell. He was a devil of a man. He's he's not a nice character at all, and he's always on Sharpe's back, and he eventually goads him into punching him, which gets Sharpe flogged. But the main plot of this book is a British colonel has been captured by the Sultan Tipio, and he's being held in Seringapatam, I think it's called. British. It's an Indian fortress in India. Um, Sharpe, alongside Lieutenant Lawford, get their mission is to go in there and try and rescue him. To do that, they've got to pretend that they've escaped and left the army. They've bailed on them, and they eventually get inside there, and eventually the British attack. Some of the British people get captured, and Sergeant Haxwell identifies them as spies. All sorts of hijinks has happened, and in the end, Sharpe works it all out. Don't want to spoil this book for you. You want to keep on reading, but yeah, again, this has got very, very interesting characters in it. I really like Richard Sharpe's character. I like Sergeant Haxwell's character, even though he's a scummy kind of a character. And again, a lot of this stuff actually happened. Again, with a bit of leniency towards the author writing. He's writing fiction at the end of the day. So some of the stuff I heard, some of the stuff on the reading on Goodreads, like, oh well, British officers wouldn't act like that around other British officers. Yeah, okay, that may be true, but he's making a story. You've got to give him some kind of leeway. He's trying to make it interesting, and bit of character for his characters. And this book is, I wanted a quick light bite, and this was certainly it. I devoured this book. I read it in a couple of days. It was so up my street. This is not like a highbrow kind of book. Books like this are not going to appear on any like the bucket list or anything like that, and it doesn't belong on the bucket list. It's simple, bog standard historical fiction with some really interesting characters. The author really knows his stuff at the time as well, of what's going on in the wider conflict and the actual battle itself during the time of British colonial rule. Uh, I think I said before, I'm not too sure if I said before, actually, this is not the first Sharpe book that was published, but I think it's the first chronologically. So I'm going to keep on going until I might get sick of Sharpe. But I certainly do recommend this if you're into, a light by historical fiction. If you're interested in British history or British colonial history, or if you just want something quick, something snappy, something light bite about two guys infiltrating a city trying to rescue a colonel. A battle is underway with treachery and deceit, and some really, well done, well drawn characters. Pick up the Sharpe series, you'll like it. Okay, BookTube, I'll see you soon.